Odin's quest for wisdom is never-ending, and he is willing to pay any price, it seems, for the understanding of life's mysteries that he craves more than anything else. On one occasion he ventured to Mimir's well, amongst the roots of the world tree Yggdrasil. There dwelt Mimir, a shadowy being whose knowledge of all things was unparalleled amongst the inhabitants of the cosmos. He achieved this status largely by drinking from his well, whose waters impart this cosmic knowledge. When Odin arrived, he asked Mimir for a drink from this water. The well's guardian, knowing the value of such a draught, refused unless the seeker offered an eye in return. Odin pulled out one of his eyes and dropped it into the well. Now that the necessary sacrifice was made, Mimir dipped his horn into the well and offered the now one-eyed god a drink. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to begin with a bit of lore from Norse mythology, what could be a gem in the analytic rock climbing series. As you know, I visited Flatanger in Norway recently to climb a bit in the humongous Hansalaren cave, and one of the really iconic climbs there is a line called Odin's Eye, an 8C+. It's first ascended by Ethan Pringle in 2012 and vaulted by Eirik Birkelund Olsen. Also has seen an on-site by guess who? Adam Onra, of course. It's an absolutely outstanding line through an overhanging part of the cave, which contains some really mind-blowing features. Let's begin. This is the start and the first part of the route, which actually contains the first crux, the first of, you could actually say, 4 cruxes of this route, which is quite massive. I'm starting here with my sweater. As you can see, it was quite cold. I think below 10 degrees Celsius and lots of wind, so yeah, at least for me, kind of tough conditions. This sloper that I'm getting here with my left hand now, boom, is actually in all of the videos that I've seen, people are starting from this sloper, but this would require such a massive rock tower, which was not there at all, so that I figured, hey, maybe they removed the rock tower so that they have 2 more moves on the route or something like that. Anyway, really cool blocky moves, as you can see there in the beginning of the route. Massive granite edges and heel hooks, and nothing too hard, nothing too cruxy so far. I think these edges are still quite good where I'm chalking up here, and now we're getting into the first more interesting sequence. I think right hand now goes into, as you can see, a little bit unsecurity here with my right foot. Right hand goes into this side pull, and then left foot another side foothold to really give a counter force for this side pull sloper up there. And yeah, now resetting the left foot to be able to grab this strange sloper edge here with the right hand, and then you're kind of able to stand up onto this better edge up there with the left hand. Now this hold is actually quite good again, and this allows you to get the next clip in as well and do the next couple of moves, which are relatively easy, I would say. And then we are able to get the next clip in, which is the third one now. And up there, after the third quick draw, we will see the first crux, actually. The first more, let's say, interesting bouldery part of the route. So yeah, right hand should go into the kind of juggy-like hold here again. Kind of pulls to the right down in a Gaston fashion, and you can really get a good counterbalance for that with your left foot up there, as you can see. Now we push ourselves up with the right foot here onto this slopey edge up there, and this is really a key player in this upcoming boulder crux. As you can see, I'm trying to get the intermediate here with my right hand, but I didn't hit it properly, and that's why here in this attempt I sat down for a little bit of a rest. You know, the problem with these climbs down there, especially at the beginning of the cave, the rock is really cold, you know, and it really sucks out the warmth of your fingers, especially when the holes are big, like in the beginning of this route, you know. So I'm getting rid of the sweater here, also 0.5 kilo or so less. That's a lot actually when you're climbing on your limit. But anyway, we're trying this boulder here again, as you can see, pushing ourselves up again into this slopey edge there, then getting this really nice back step in, intermediate hold, and one more time, big momentum there up into the into this slopey kind of edge there. And then it's getting really cool, really high right heel hook, taking the weight from the right hand, allowing you to grab onto another really interesting crimp there, kind of a slot here between those 2 granite blocks. and then getting your left hand onto the slopey edge there, you know, allowing you to match. And here you can actually get the next clip in already, I think, which I did. But let's take a look at that again, because it's such a tasty climbing sequence, you know, without the illustrations. Left slopey edge, side, side guest on intermediate with this back step, boom, bumping further onto the slopey edge there, which is just good enough to be able to smash your right foot up there, you know, taking the weight of the right hand and getting onto the next slot crimp here, and locking that one off to be able to go onto these slopey edges further to the left. Foot switch, swinging over and getting a little shake out there, and I think then I dropped the rope into the quick draw. There we go. And from there it's actually not that over yet, you know, the first part. Get onto this not so bad ledge there, slopey kind of, with your left hand. And here you can always, you know, as you can see, if the grip is sufficient, you can always get a little shakeout in here as well. Then you can get this clip in, and yeah. Now the challenge is to get another slot edge with your right hand, as you can see. Nice foothold down there, and beautiful body strengthy move onto this sloper up there. And the sloper still is not that good. Here you're getting another sloper in, and this one is already better. And then I think you can match this one, and then you're basically able to stand up into a big undercling jog, essentially the start of a long joggy traverse to the right up, which I cut off here, which is where the frame cuts off, so to say. So yeah, this is basically the first part, the first crux of the route. If I would have to rate this boulder, I don't know, it's maybe 7A or 7A plus or something. So up until this point the route could be something like 7C plus or 8A or something like that. Now it's getting a little bit more interesting. As you can see here, we've got the eye, which is just a, you know, stunning feature on this granite. It's just mind-blowing to me how nature can even do something, create something like that, you know. But anyway, we're coming in at the bottom of the frame here, at the end of this kind of joggy undercling ledge with really bad feet. So it's kind of pumpy, although the holds are good, you know, it pumps you a lot. And here we've got a little bit of a harder sequence onto some smaller holds there. Small guest on edge with the left hand, small undercling with the right hand. And you have to hold the body strength all of the time, you know, because these good footholds are quite a lot down there. So yeah, you gotta hold the body strength here a bit. And now we are entering something that could be considered another crux of the climb, actually. Crux number 2, you could say. Which I was not aware of when I was checking out the route. I only realized this when I was watching videos afterwards. Because now you're getting onto this really wet undercling. This one here. This one is quite wet. You have to do quite a big span from that right up to the next crimp. And the thing is, because it was wet, I thought, yeah, okay, you know, it's wet. I can't really try this now, so who cares? It's wet anyway. I would have to wait until this is dry anyway if I wanted to try the route. But it turns out that this hold is probably wet all the time. So you have to pull this crux from this wet edge there. And how it goes, here I'm grabbing the draw, but theoretically you could also grab the undercling, of course, and then you do this big span on this Gaston crimp there, matching it with the left hand, and then continuing onto this slopey rail, the right side of the triangle of the eye, so to say. And this slopey rail continues until you reach the top right corner of the eye, so to say. And there, in the top right corner, it is actually not even that bad. Until there, it is actually quite a lot of work to work yourself up there. I mean, I did not check out the perfect solution here for sure. As you can see, you have not really a lot of footholds. My feet are always searching for something here whilst moving up into this top right corner. And I can't really figure out a solution which is kind of, energy sparing. But here I just managed to get there anyway, because the holds on the rail, they are not that bad. But it gets really, really pumpy if you spend a lot of time on these slopers, So yeah, searching footholds with the feet and working my way up this slopey rail there. And in the top right corner, up here, this rail gets actually quite decent. So here is definitely the last rest before the definite crux of the whole route. As you can see here, left high foot here, and then clipping this this quick draw from this jog, you could say, with the right hand, but it is actually not a jog. It's just a more or less decent hold compared to this slopey rail beforehand. And here, as you can see, I'm having my knee pad on here. You could get a knee bar in if you would know exactly how to do that. I mean, I experimented around here a little bit, but in the end I found it didn't really give me a lot, I mean, maybe it's just a bad knee bar as well. That could be as well, of course. But yeah, if I would have to try this route now and this was the only knee bar there available, I would probably not even take the knee pad with me. So now it's getting really, really tough. We're entering here this undercling rail, the top side of the eye, so to say. And as you can see, I'm dropping into the rope here instantly because I have the feeling this will be a challenge, so to say. These underclings are not really good. From the top right corner into the middle of the eye, you have to hold a couple of really, really bad underclings in combination with really, really bad feet. They are quite greasy already, and they are really not positive, They are not in-cut or anything. They are just these greasy, slopey, downwards directed footholds. And you have to hold a lot of body strength to be able to, span yourself in between those two features, so to say. And as you can see, I'm trying to get something out of the knee pad here again, which is probably possible if you know how to do it. So at some point you're reaching this undercling in the middle of the eye, which is actually not that bad. It's better than all the underclings that you had on the way to there, so to say. And then you have to figure out the right footholds to be able to make a massive undercling move up into this white pocket, which you can see here from afar even. These were the first two footholds with which I tried it, but as you can see, without a lot of success. So I figured it was the wrong ones. The thing with these undercling moves, you want to have enough height with your footholds, obviously, to be able to reach your target hold, but at the same time, the higher you're stepping, the much more force gets into this undercling. That's the mechanic nature of these undercling situations. You want to have enough reach to be able to reach your next target hold, but you also want to step as low as possible, actually, because you don't want to get so much force into that undercling. And as you can see, with these two, which gave me a bit of a wider stance, and I stepped a bit lower, especially with my left foot, I already got quite close to doing the move. So yeah, let's move fast forward here a bit more, and let's watch the next attempt, so to say. As you can see here, right foot, left foot, a bit lower, wider stance, and then really with momentum, taking all of the momentum out, and there I stuck it, which was really amazing. This is a slopey, pockety thing up there. It's hard to describe it, and you instantly get the instinct that you have to get some sort of, some force down there, which is replacing your right hand if you want to let go of your right hand. Because in the right hand, you still got this quite good undercling, which pulls you towards the wall and which makes that pocket up there actually somewhat bearable. But as you're letting go of the right hand, you're missing that force, obviously, and then this pocket up there would become really, really bad. So what do you have to do, would you guess? You have to replace this right hand with your right foot somehow, and this is exactly what I'm trying to do here all the time. I'm trying to get some sort of heel or toe hook close to my right hand to be able to let go of my right hand from this undercling. And here I think I managed to do it for a short time. Exactly, that's it. Here I, I figured out, okay, obviously I'm on the right way there. This could be the solution, so to say. And I think this was the second go of me on this route. Now we are watching the third go, and here I'm already, getting quite a lot closer actually. So as you can see, working myself up this sloper rail here again, and I'm actually forgetting to get that prolonged clip in down there, which made my pants a little bit full when I had to clip this one up there, because I figured I should probably not fall in this situation now. But anyway, getting into the undercling here, these are the bad underclings again. Trying to get something out of this good rail with my right foot there, and then starting to traverse into this crazy undercling traverse with these really bad footholds. And as you can see, working my way to the left there, it's very exhausting. It's pumping you up a lot, and just before the crux, so this is gonna be a tough challenge, making this sequence as easy as possible to have enough energy left once you're reaching the actually good undercling in the middle of the eye. So yeah, I'm dropping the shirt again, ready to check out the boulder one more time. And as you can see, now that I'm already knowing where I have to step to get this move done, I'm placing the feet correctly instantly this time. At least I remember that. Yeah, there we go. And now again, big momentum move. Boom, sticking the pocket sloper up there, so to say, first try. And now really trying to get this heel hook in, and this creates this pull towards the wall, making the pocket somewhat bearable and allowing you to match here above the pocket with the right hand. And here I really knew, okay, you're on the right path here, that's how this sequence is done. So yeah, resting a little bit again and then trying it again. And this is how you work these kind of routes, these bouldery sequences. You usually just see the ascents, when you're watching climbing videos, you only see the ascents, but you never really see the work that is put into the checking out phase. There we go again, able to match this pinch here above the pocket, left undercling. There we go, hopping onto the next mini edge here, and big move to the left. And this left hold, something which I did not know until now, is actually a pretty good jog. So if you can hit that one properly, you basically made the boulder. Let's check out the next attempt of this boulder here. As you can see, wide stance again with my feet, big momentum, and here I already was a little bit too short, or I did not hit it properly. I probably was already quite tired. All of the attempts that you've seen in this video happened on the same day, and it's actually a lot of work to even get up to this eye, so I didn't hit it properly. Also, I injured my left middle finger there a little bit, but just surface injuries, a little bit of a nail split. And there we go, heel hook in there, and pay attention to my right thumb here. The right thumb has to really get into this little slot there, and this is just so epic. Just this little feature, this little structure on the rock helps you to be able to stick this hold, And keeping going with my right hand into the small edge, and big move into the jog. This time I hit it, and there we go, next slopey edge there, which allows you to get your right foot into the pocket from before, and big move into this epic slot there, which is just good enough to be able to slap onto the next sloper. And from there, out of the frame, half a meter above there's actually a super big undercling jog, which once you get it, the boulder is over actually. I didn't really realize that in that situation, and wanted to grab the quick draw, which is something that you should actually avoid, when you're already super pumped, because you can injure yourself badly actually. But yeah, here I just dropped down, and from there I came down. Now once you get this undercling jog, which is now out of the frame a bit, the route is almost over. This is crux number 3, the crux of the route, the main crux of the route. I would say if I would had to grade this boulder from the right corner of the eye to the undercling jog, it's probably 7C or something like that. I would say 7C, 7B plus maybe, 7B plus 7C or something. And because of the the endurance nature of this route, this is just an endurance monster. This becomes really 8C plus, because it's just so hard to get this boulder done from the ground essentially. And this is also why I figured I can't really, project this route during this trip, because I simply just have not enough time to be able to build up this specific endurance for this route, which would take me maybe 2 weeks or something, or even more. And yeah, since I only have a couple of days here, that really doesn't pay off. It would pay off much more to get some easier routes done, some more easier routes. But anyway, after this boulder up there's actually a heartbreaker, which I found out when watching one of the videos, other videos of Odin's Eye, which are out there. So it's still not over there. There comes a fourth crux, but the main crux, the hardest crux, is actually this one at the eye. I hope you enjoyed this little analysis. My goal with these videos is to make these routes accessible, because you only see the ascents, when you're watching the social media of some other climbers or other YouTube channels, you only see the ascents. And quite honestly, also on my channel, you often only see the ascents. You never really see the work that is put into the ascent, into the checking out phase, into getting the solution, getting the right beta, for your body size, for your body type, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's my goal with these videos. I hope you've got something from it. I hope it was interesting. It was a lot of fun checking that out, and definitely something to come back for actually when I have more time. So yeah, hope you're having a great time too, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye.